Most Airbnb hosts think the hard part is over once the property is listed. But the truth is, constant optimization is the secret to staying in the game long term. I already managed 4 Airbnb listings here on the island of Zanzibar, and I could have invested in more properties by now. And in fact, I almost rushed to scale. I wanted to expand to Accra, Ghana. I already looked at properties over there. I was interested in investing into an Airbnb in Johannesburg, in Cape Town. Basically, my vision was to have a home base in my favorite places on the African continent and then list them on Airbnb. However, instead of rushing to scale, I chose to constantly upgrade what I already have, which was a very wise decision because long-term success in Airbnb isn't about how many listings you have. It's about how unforgettable you can make each stay. In this video, I'll take you behind the scenes as I upgrade one of my Airbnbs by turning this beautiful garden into an outdoor cinema. When I set up my first Airbnb here on the African continent, I, like many other hosts, believed that once I have set up, furnished and listed this property on Airbnb, the hard work is over. But this couldn't be further from the truth, and the reality looked very different. Not only because guest expectations evolve, but also because your competition grows, and your competition isn't sleeping. Let me give you an example. With one of my properties here on the island of Zanzibar, at first my plan was to rent out the 4 bedrooms individually. So I listed them separately on the Airbnb platform and also on booking.com. And then later I realized I'm not receiving many bookings. It's when I realized that I'm actually competing with beachfront hotels. And so I had to ask myself, what makes my space stand out? Why would anyone choose my Airbnb over a beautiful beachfront cottage? I must say my location is great. The house is located in the second line of the beach. So you can basically leave your shoes home and you just walk around 15 meters and you're already at one of the most beautiful beaches here on the island. But still, the competition was intense. And so I had to rethink my strategy. And I asked myself, which type of guest is coming to this island that isn't well served, and how can I become the best option for them? I started doing a deep research and realized that big groups of 6, 7, 8 people are underserved here on this island, and that there are not many accommodations that can host bigger groups. And this is where I saw my competitive edge, because I can host up to 8 people, and just renting a whole house for a bigger group is just a different vibe than renting 4 separate rooms in a hotel where they cannot cook together, share meals together, and enjoy a level of privacy that no hotel can offer. That's when I decided this is my chance. I'm going to invest in upgrading my home to accommodate bigger groups, which is why I invested in upgrading my kitchen, upgrading the outdoor space, upgrading the living room, the shared spaces, things that groups would appreciate and that would make their stay unforgettable. And then I listed that property again, this time as a whole unit that can host up to 8 people. And guess what happened? Bookings started flowing in. By now, that property is one of my best performing listings, simply because of that one decision to invest into what I already have. I could have also scaled and invest in the next property because it wasn't doing bad, let me put it that way. It was covering the cost and it was making a little profit, but not enough. There was still enough room to improve, to optimize, and to grow. And that is why I decided to maximize and to invest in the property I already have. And again, this was the best decision I made, because think of it also like this. More properties also means more management headache if each one isn't optimized. And optimized listings equal higher return on investment per property. The thing is also, when you scale without optimizing, you're building on shaky foundations. And this is what I wanted to avoid. As you can see right now, I'm in one of my properties on the island of Zanzibar. It's not the property that I just talked about, but a different one, which I also want to upgrade and invest in by turning this garden into an outdoor cinema. And the reason why is because this property is getting less bookings recently compared to last season, and therefore I thought about ways to improve the guest experience. I asked myself, how can I create a unique experience? How can I stand out? And this is when I got the idea to create an outdoor cinema, because I have so much space here in my garden, unused space, which is like leaving money on the table, basically. The first thing that I did was to order a projector on Amazon. I paid around $100, I think, and I got it in Germany when I was visiting my mother. The next step was to find a fundi who can build the seating area for the outdoor cinema. In case you don't know, they call carpenters, craftsmen, construction workers in Tanzania, Kenya, probably also in Uganda, fundi. And so there is a fundi for everything. A fundi for plumbing works, a fundi for carpentry, a fundi for electricity works. And so I hired the fundi that I'm working with for almost 4 years now, who has done a lot of works here in my house. He started his work yesterday and will finish tomorrow. We are a little bit under pressure because I don't have much time here on the island, 10 days to be precise, before I have to return to Kenya because school resumes in 11 days. We started building the seating area yesterday. We decided to build it from cement, and I paid around $150 for the material. For his work will be another $80 to $100. And then we have to plaster and paint part of the wall in white, the part that will be the screen for the outdoor cinema. In total, for the material, for the construction work, including the projector, I will be paying around $300. And think of it. $300 to create a unique and unforgettable experience. I mean, think of the value this upgrade adds without rebuilding the house. And yeah, we will see how that works out. And I can't wait. I promised them already to invite everyone. And I'm 100% sure that my guests will love it. Because imagine watching a movie under 1 million stars. That's an experience that the guests won't forget. I'm so convinced about that. And I'm also convinced that this investment isn't just a little extra, it's part of long-term competitiveness. So the big lesson that I want to share with you today is that optimization always beats scaling. Trust me. Think of upgrading your photos, hiring a professional photographer, and investing that $500, $800, or even $1,000 into a professional photo shoot. Invest into upgrading your amenities, adding amenities. Invest in creating that unique and unforgettable experience. This is what I've been doing since 2019 when I started my first Airbnb here on the African continent. Every year I reinvested into my listings instead of just expanding. And it was only when I felt like I optimized that listing, I got the maximum out of it, I'm not leaving money on the table, that I decided to invest into a new property and to expand. And so before you scale, I want you to ask yourself, is this property fully optimized? Or am I leaving money and guest satisfaction on the table? And I also want you to ask this, would you rather have 10 average Airbnbs or 3 that guests never stop talking about? I need you to understand that Airbnb isn't a one-time setup. It's a journey of constant improvement. And the hosts who last are the ones who keep upgrading and adapting. What are you cooking, Nasra?
I'm cooking rice.
Wow, this is coconut rice,
Yes.
From real coconut.
Yes.
This is the real coconut milk.
So now I'm cooking sauce. Chicken curry.
Beef mishikaki. Wow. Wow. Chakula kitamu sana.
Sana.
Asante dada. Baadaye.
Wewe unajua kutengeneza sana.
This is good, eh?
Hihi.
This is real TV.
Kubwa.
Wow.
Nzuri sana.
Nzuri sana.
Nzuri sana. Angalia, kazi yako ni nzuri sana. Hongera.
Now up here.
Hongera.
Yeah?
Congratulations.
No, for you as well. You helped us, eh? You helped us.
Tuko hapa. Subiri ule mchanga. Niche.
Hey. Freshi.
Fresh sana.
Start again. If you're serious about building or growing a profitable Airbnb business here in Africa, then I have great news for you. I have just launched the first and only Airbnb course and private community specifically designed for this continent. Inside you get over 90 video lectures that guide you step by step through the process, a detailed launch roadmap, weekly live calls, and most importantly, access to a community of like-minded people who are all on the same journey like you. A space where we support each other, where we guide each other, uplift each other, where we grow together. I hope you enjoyed this episode. That's it for today, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Bye!